Good morning, everybody. It is February 19th, 2018, and it is a Monday. One second. One moment. Trying to pull up. There it is. Okay, cool. All right. Now, we have today is President's Day. So in the regular markets, like in futures, there's going to be shortened trading days, but Forex, we're going to be fine. That's going to be open. Cryptocurrencies, as always, is going to be fine. And that is what I love about Forex markets and the cryptocurrency markets, is that we always have something to trade, which is great. And let no one tell you otherwise, that these are the markets for trading. And really Forex, even, that is so crooked. What is up with that? I don't know if I made it worse. Forex is a trader's market. Cryptocurrencies are less of a tradable market. They are more of a long biased only market because you cannot short it very easily. So it's a long biased market. That's pretty much all you do. Now, let's look at our cryptos. We had last week, last week was rough. That was a tough week. We did not put in a lot of trades, thankfully. We kind of had if we just look at the weekly chart on our let's look at the Euro weekly. Now, we had a fantastic week on this week of the 5th, first week there. We had an amazing week. Then we had this kind of wild, funky, all over the place week with CPI data. I mean, it was just weird. And now we have beginning of this week, and we'll see how that goes. So, Friday, we had a couple short ideas going into Friday. And these ideas were ones that we were looking at to be comfortable holding over the weekend. And those trades have panned out pretty nicely. So let's look at those. The first one we had was our Euro short, where we wanted to be short in between 126 and 125.4. All right. So we wanted to be short at 125.4, which is up here, and 126 all the way up there. That has worked out marvelously. We are looking at 200 and some. No. Trying to find that out here. I like to... Where is that at? I can't pull it up. So weird. Well, odd. So we're down quite a few pips on that move. I mean, we're actually looking at a 100 pip move that we've got on that so far, and actually, looking to hold that. What's the bias for that? What are the reasons for that? Well, let's take a look. We've got a whole slew of reasons why we wanted to go short. We have a time cycle. Oops. Okay. look at it this way. So remember, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 5 up days, and then we were going to a pivot. We have this is the 45 angle in our square, and we got rejected off that, couldn't trade any higher. And then we have this red line, which is a pivot in our time cycle. So that's why we had a short bias there. The rise up all week in the euro and in a lot of these was a pretty weak move. I mean, there was the daily volume was all below average, and the weekly volume was certainly below average, and a lot of that because we had the Chinese New Year. So those rises, not exactly the most honest of moves in an already really extended market. So what have we got looking at the daily? We've got a series of tops here. We've been trying to test it higher. Even on the weekly, we are looking at a series of double tops. We did extend a little higher last week, but not very convincing. I guess on the weekly we were just slightly, little above average, but certainly lower than last week, the week before rather. Now looking at it on the hourly, what have we done here? If we took a fib retracement on our swing high and swing low, previous swing high, swing low, and we came down and we got to blew through the 75, traded all the way up past that high, and then we just found weakness overnight here. Structurally in our 2 oscillators, we found real big weakness here. I know I sent out that alert. Actually, that's right. I sent that out Thursday at 11:43 p.m. and we continued that in the morning. So that trade's turned out very nice. We should expecting to see some fallout here and lower prices going into the day. The dollar yen. We wanted to go long only with the hold and consistent trading above 106.6, which we did not get to. But I tell you what, this is kind of setting up to be a little bullish of a bull here. We're kind of curling up. We are above. Well, we're right on. I mean, this is kind of a touch and go area. We've got this Gann angle here in our square that we're technically above right now, and then we have this squared. Probably better draw another line there sometime here. But we have this this line here that we are currently trading above now that it auto adjusted. Ugh, it's frustrating. So watch this here. We may have a nice kind of a bullish return here, and a nice setup to go back to the top. If we're looking at the dollar index, even is trading up. Gold has gone down, so let's keep an eye on these. The other trade we had was the Aussie dollar, and we wanted to go short at a pullback to the 79.45 zone. And where are we at? We did sort of get there. I mean, depending if you took your trade there or not, we didn't. We were kind of 7 pips away from actually touching that zone, but we certainly did get into that area. And where are we finding support here on our fib line, on our swing high? We are looking at finding support at that 382, but we should look to see some weakness and selling below. We're kind of getting into a head and shoulders formation here. So that trade is still active and working out. The pound dollar was our other short over the weekend, and we wanted to go short at 140.06, and that has turned out very nicely. We are still short on that one, and trending lower still. Nice rejection off this angle here. Very, very nice setup on that one. Coincides with this here, and then we have our pivot, our inner pivot. So we should expect to see prices really find maybe a little bounce of support on our angle here, and if we crack down there, we should really fall below this pretty easily, and then test the 137.5 zone, which has been a historical support line. All right. So let's keep our eye on that one. New Zealand dollar. We had two options. We wanted to go long at 74.1, or we wanted to go short at 73.78. If we would have gone long, I did. I did go long here. Near the, what was it? Near the, no, I did not. I did not go long here. When did I go long there? That was a while ago. What am I thinking of? I'm fairly certain I didn't. No, I'm thinking of the Aussie dollar I went short on. Okay, then we wanted to go short at 73.78, which we just have kind of really a kind of a flat trading area, very heads and shouldery area here on the hourly. Looking at a break of this, okay, we have really kind of a triple top here. This whole 74.22 is acting as a very strong resistance area right now. I say very strong, but I mean, if we just look at the most recent price action, I mean, we have a lot of buyers up there, really. More buyers than sellers if we look at the volume profile. You know, this is our most traded area. If we go from this, if I take the volume profile only to our swing high, first swing high, I've tested this area on the hourly. You know, our volume point of control is sitting right on 73.33. And, you know, what are we looking at here? This line acts as an overbought condition when it's hit. So we sold off. This is the key area to look at. If we get a breakdown of this angle, which I believe that is the 45 of the square. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. This is the 45 of the square. We break down below this angle like it did here. We should expect a nice little sell-off. And here's where this may be one of our big movers, is because, again, if we look at the rule of angles, all right, rule of angles states that when you break an angle, you have an extremely high probability of moving down or up to test the next one. So where's the next angle below this? All the way down here. We're at the 71, below the 71.88 zone. Okay, so we can have a fairly decent bearish bias on this guy here. If we look at the daily, you know, we are in a good structure for selling on the daily. Very rounded top there. On the weekly, still in these extended conditions, and we should look at a continuation of some downside movement here. All right, that is a cup and handle setup. Didn't really want to move any higher, so we're gonna really want to watch to see what happens here. Okay, let's go on and check out gold. Gold. We'll check it out. I know I got a square on this one. Okay, gold. I know we always have to zoom out to test this out here. Okay. Gold showing a little bit of structural weakness. You know, what we should observe is that the rule of angles is not really playing out here, because we break this angle and we're supposed to go test the new one, which is all the way up there. Difficult to get to. We have some historical, got a very strong harmonic resistance right here at 1360, 170. And, you know, we are looking at a further kind of break down below probably this 1337. Leet. Gaming lingo, haha. It's President's Day. I don't know why this is a holiday. Although, to be fair, apparently in the States we don't have enough holidays. Now they say we work too much. I don't know, if you're self-employed, you work all the time. If you're self-employed, you love what you do. Well, you should love what you do. I love what I do. So really, it doesn't feel like work. Except the days I lose a lot of money. Ooh. because I got dinged a little bit last week, so that always stinks. Okay, so we're looking at gold here, finding a little bit of support. We got some. Let's make this the same. Got some, bias here on the hourly for a little selling based on our composite index here. We'll see if that's going to play out or not. We'll want to watch that. All right. Now let's go over these trades again. Taking a look at the euro. Now let's take a peek here. We are finding some support a little bit at the 618 fib line, but we're struggling to hold above this angle, and we've broken down below it, and I believe that is the 45 in this square. Yes, it is. So, gosh, I hate it when it does that. It's always frustrating when TradingView, when you create a square, zoom in and out a lot, because sometimes those squares need to kind of reset. They're not always looking the right way. So we're below the 45, and we are testing this 618 area, which we're technically trading below it, and we are actually sitting on a break it out longer here. And the 0.5 in our square. That's that line. So we're in a strong support area, and we're not getting a lot of support. If we get a breakdown below the 50 here, that's kind of a big deal. We want to look at, the rule of angles. I keep calling it a law, and I know I shouldn't. The rule of angles is that, we're going to test down below here, so we should look at some further bias. If we get a break and a hold of 123.89, at 1. Because if we're looking at this structurally on our oscillators, we're not in oversold territory. We're trending towards oversold territory. Kind of bounced up off of it a little bit on the RSI. And we are also not in these overbought conditions anymore on the composite index, so we can look at some lower movement here. We got a bias for that. We've got these kind of lower lows. We've got higher lows on our oscillator. We've got regular bullish divergence in our RSI, but it doesn't seem to be responding very strongly. And also if we want to look at it this way, we've got higher highs in our oscillator, but we've got lower highs in our price, and that's bearish divergence. We've got two conflicting divergences. So we have to use other types of confirmation to help us determine where things are going to go. This is a good lesson. We're coming off of a big resistance area, very strong push down. Is the probability to find a correction where we're going to follow that regular bullish divergence and trade up, or are we going to find a stronger bias towards moving down? There's a lot of arguments for both. This is a strong supportive area. We're on the 50 zone. We've had a lot of volume traded in this range. We're trading in this value area. In fact, if I zoom out to this first breakout zone there, and this price behavior from breakout here and up. You know, we are right in the point of control. We're kind of below it. We're below that 618, but not too far, and we are getting a lot of activity on this level. So we could find supportive buying here, but it's not showing up yet. So that's why if we get to 123.89, I'm looking at a good short bias there, and you know, our risk is not very much either. I'm just not looking at a lot of long opportunity there. You know, we've had there, you know, ever since last night, there's been some attempts to buy this up, but it's just has not been hanging there very well. So that's that trade. Look at the UJ. You know, I'm still we're gonna go back to the same trade we had on long only with a hold and consistent 106.6. All right. Yeah, we want to get above this zone here. Kind of get in early for the breakout above there. Okay. That's a fairly easy one. You know, we're catching a bid on this. If I want to go to the daily, we are in perfect buying conditions on the daily. I mean, we've got, you know, there's a longer term trend, you know, for this downtrend line. We're back above it. So let's look at this buying opportunity showing up here. In fact, if we were to we'd be on a pivot here. I don't know why I don't have these lines here. I really should put those there. Because I have these on 64-day. Check. Yeah, 64 days. So looking at What am I doing? Oh yeah. Bear with me. Oh, you know what? We probably got to cycle these back. That's right, because one thing I like about cryptocurrencies more than Forex is that, or if TradingView could let you do it, just put calendar days, because using these, it's kind of irritating. Oh, no, didn't want to do that. This one, here we go. All right. Still doesn't look right. Eight. Oops. 7. Yep, and then we want to go 7 again. That's right. 8. There we go. Okay, now we look better. Yep, so we're kind of in between that pivot area. You know what? Again, what was the other bias we had on going short here? Moon phases. Moon phase. Ooh, there's a breakdown there, wasn't there? Yep. Yeah, that could turn out to be a really good trade today, guys, on that one. Euro coming up too. Let's look real quick at the Aussie dollar. It's one of my favorites. Shorted pullback to 79.45. I'm gonna suggest a short right at present value area. Limited stop above here. We should find a breakdown below here. Last week's looking like a real big fake out, shake out of weak hands. Caught me. I got weak hands on it last week. 80 USD short at 79.07. Now, I'm going to have a long bias if we get back above to 79.6. All right. New Zealand dollar. Ooh. You sneaky, sneaky. Dang it. Not too early. Let's get a value area to short here in case there's a pullback of some sort. If we get a bounce off this, you know, we'll look at this, but at a pullback to the 73.8. And or a break below okay. I want to watch for, you know, if we get a bounce here, that'll be nice. If we don't, we should get a breakdown lower, and we'll see what happens there. Pound. This damn guy's been, but I keep missing the moves on this one. Now, bounced right off that 124.5 zone. Just bounced right off of it. Taking a peek here because the dollar index catching a big bid, so we should see some increased. Now, if you're not still short, we're going to get a break of the 139.54. Or we'll want to go long above at what, you know, like around 140.70. Couple ideas there. Here, below here, up here. All right, euro pound. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, man, we have a. All right, okay. If we get a break below 88.56, yeah, that's yep. That's a good trade setup right there. It's a really good trade setup. If the euro is going to show more weakness or not, we'll see here. I just took that short actually. Maybe premature, but we'll see. I'm liking seeing that nice firm rejection. If there's, you know, if we can imagine the trend line being here, something like this, you know, we got a nice firm rejection off that area, which is also in the halfway point between these harmonics. And we're failed to hold above this angle, so, you know, we're going to break and test this one again. If that doesn't hold, man, it is a long ways down. I mean, we should really, if we want to zoom out, don't look at this as an hourly. Let's look at this as like a daily. And we can often get a heads up when we see prices, you know, trading in a channel, or if they're trading flat. You know, if you see prices, if you see prices doing this where there's a big push down, sometimes that's not just a sign of strength. Sometimes that's testing. You know, it looks like there's a lot of participation to move to the downside there. I know that really we have some fundamental answers for that, but it looks like price really kind of wants to test lower. There's a lot of sell or buying tails below this Gann angle here, right here, and we're just not getting a massive buy support. You know, trying to get higher here. We're still below, you know, our highs over here. We're continuing to make lower highs, in fact, and lower lows. So we should really have a bias for downside, and we're probably going to look to go long on a swing down here at some point, but I'm comfortable with the short here. I can get rid of that now. So yeah, we've got some good lower bias on this price action here. Again, USDCHF, essentially this is a dollar index. Whoa, wow, that caught a bid, didn't it? So is our hey, good trades this morning so far. We'll see if there's a lot of follow through on these or not. Yeah, our long here probably got triggered. And, you know, we're actually in good supportive. This is great. Not often do you get to see some pretty decisive signals, you know, where, you know, if price is kind of trending up to a resistance area, it's not often your oscillators are also kind of sitting in a long opportunity. But these ones are. So, you know, on the RSI, are we trending towards overbought conditions? Sure. But we haven't been in overbought conditions for quite some time, since the beginning of the month. So, well, let's come back to these. Let's take a peek at our cryptocurrencies, okay? So what do we got going on here? You know, Bitcoin over the weekend. I mean, we've had great buying here. Want to zoom out farther. Let's look at this on the daily real quick. This arc was broken out. It's been tested as support, got bought up. The last major trend line we got to worry about. See these three here? We broke through. This is the long-term one. These are from these swing highs. Okay, we got rejected off of it over the weekend, but now we're buying back up towards it. Okay, so this angle here is the one. This trend line is what we want to get past. I think we'll do it. I don't think, you know, if there was a real strong urge to push this guy lower, we would have seen that. We can see maybe some ping-ponging here. You know, I'll draw those arrows. Ping-ponging like this. And before we shoot up. But really, maybe some area trading here and this, and then break up. You know, we'll see how that goes. Litecoin. Got a flag forming here. Litecoin, very strong performer. I mean, there's a lot going on for Litecoin. There was a fork that is happening. I don't know. Litecoin Cash. It's considered a scam by Charlie Lee. He's the creator of Litecoin. The Litecoin team does not support it. There's a lot of exchanges aren't supporting it. It's pretty much a scam because Litecoin Cash people want you to send your Litecoin to their wallet so that you can get the Litecoin Cash tokens. No thanks. Litecoin Cash has more going for it. I mean, Litecoin has more going for it than a scammy fork. I shouldn't call it a scam. Charlie Lee seems like a pretty stand-up dude. Litecoin is a great platform, great coin, great blockchain. I don't know anything really about Litecoin Cash other than I've read that it's a scam. So that's the only reason. I'm biased because the media is biased against it. That's not a very good reason these days to be biased against anything. So, like I said, Charlie Lee says it's a scam, and he's always been. I've always really liked his philosophy and his openness about things. But Litecoin has LitePay coming out later this month. LitePay is it's mainstream cryptocurrencies. It settles the issue. Again, it settles the issue of if I want to buy something with a cryptocurrency, how do I know? You know, if I want to buy a car with Bitcoin, I want to buy a car with 3 Bitcoin. I show up to the dealership, and now Bitcoin's like trading way less. How does that? How do you affect that? Well, the Litecoin card, the LitePay, is compatible at any Visa ATM and any vendor that uses Visa. Litecoin is settled. Its conversion rate is settled at the point of sale. So Litecoin is the first card to have something that advanced and that big. Its value is way undervalued. I mean, another client was asking me, do I think LitePay is going to be more valuable than Bitcoin? No. But I tell you what, in the short term, Litecoin is going to make leaps and bound percentage moves ahead of Bitcoin than Bitcoin will. Unless Bitcoin does something to improve its blockchain here in the near future and introduce something competitive like that, Litecoin is just not going to experience a whole crap ton of weakness. It's a very strong move. Got this big rise up. Let's see some consolidation, and then another drive up. That's pretty healthy. Now Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, it's got this long angle here, long trend line. You know, it's testing it, went above it, fell below it, traded below, came back up. You know, same kind of behavior. You know, we're looking at it to continue to catch a bid. We really want to get above that 1,000 area. It's going to be hard to crack. It should be hard to crack. It's good. It's good to see this kind of activity here. You know, if we're looking at it in our square, where's our down limit? 900, 914 area before we were finally to break out. So we're within this zone, but again, we broke this angle, rule of angles, that we test higher here. Keep an eye on that. Litecoin, you know, it's respecting its structure very nicely. You know, we're going to probably keep moving in this direction and see what happens. Bitcoin, same scenario. Its long angle is up here. Long trend line that it needs to break is here. We're still respecting this square. We're approaching another big breakout range for Bitcoin and Litecoin. And in the even shorter term, Ethereum is the one who hasn't had a big breakout yet. You know, it's kind of had a very healthy kind of slow move up, but it has not experienced a move like this in Litecoin or like this in Bitcoin. All right, it has not had these moves yet. Ethereum is kind of lagging here, but you can dollars to donuts. We're at the 50% retracement or the 50% line in our Gann square. Our square box, square of 144. We're into this trend line very shortly. You know, within the next day. 6 o'clock in the evening, by 6 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, we should start to see a major breakout above both of these zones from Ethereum. All right, a big percentage move, and Bitcoin as well. It's not going to want to sit around here. So keep an eye on that. Let's look at our look at our trades here. Oh, I didn't even notice this. We drew this yesterday. Not yesterday. We drew this Friday on this head and shoulders. That thing's actually working out pretty spot on from how I drew it. Nice to catch a bid here. It is obviously seeing a little resistance at that 106.75 zone. Above this angle, above here, you know, we are looking at that long got triggered. Let's see how we react if we can go further here. Euro dollar, oof, weakness. Now it's sitting at the 50 retracement. We'll see if we get further breakdown. Not looking like there's a lot of strength. Look at the volume on this bar. That's pretty big volume. All right, we're looking at a return to this angle. So below here, return to this angle, and then a continuation of this structure. That's what we were operating on last week, is finding selling right here, which we did not always. I mean, this is where we got kind of burned. We got hit on a nice fake out to the upside here, but there's just a lot of pressure up here. You know, they want to test this higher, want to test breaking these, get above this very important 25.77 area, and it did not happen. So we'll want to look out. You know, longer term target on the short here is in that 120 to 117, that 120 to 117 area. That's a long ways down, but certainly the retracement is not outside of the norm. UJ went over that one. Dollar, Aussie dollar, Good break here below the 45 again. Heads and shouldery look. We should find a return down to here as a supportive buying zone once we get there. We'll look to see how this is operating by the end of the day. New Zealand dollar. Oh, damn you. I mean, I'm just really frustrated I missed this one. But that's there. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Missed that one too, guys. Damn it. Pound dollar still a good short around here. We are forming, we're right in the beginning of the hour. We haven't broken the low of this candlestick yet. Let's see what happens. Euro, pound. It lied to me earlier. Let's keep a lookout here. Can't trade the dollar index, but you can trade the dollar Swiss franc. That is essentially trading the dollar index. That's one of the good things about Forex is that, especially if you're in the U.S., we can't trade contracts for difference, which is stupid. But we can't trade contracts for difference. You can pretty much everywhere else. I think Canada you can trade CFDs. You can trade, the metal CFDs. We can't do that here in the U.S. because we have the futures market. And the CME and the CBOE have been very good at convincing everybody that their derivatives market is the safest. Not only the most expensive on the planet, but it's the safest. Lies. But, the euro, we want to look at how it's moved over the year compared to, like the ES. We've got a lot of similar move there. Yeah, we're getting some good moves hopefully here coming in on these cryptos. Nice buying. Yeah, so these trades should be working out pretty nicely today. Fantastic. Yes, our short at 22.89. We want to add to the shorts from Friday. Shorts are working out so far. Nice. Yep. Maybe finding a little support there. An Aussie dollar. I mean, it actually has some supportive buying bias there, short term. New Zealand dollar as well. See what it wants to do there. Euro, pound. Euro showing more weakness. Dollar index still drove up. But let's look at this on the 4 hour. Ooh, that's very extended on the 4 hour. 8 hour? Very extended on the 8 hour. Daily. Ugh. Daily. Daily's still a good buy in the daily. Ooh, could get a double bottom there. Catch the bid on the way up. Be interesting to see how this works out. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is a great buy on the daily. I mean, this is a pivot bottom. This is a great setup. The volume here should have been higher. We'll see. Careful with the trades. Holiday. Careful with the trades. Especially when we get into the afternoon. It's like a half a trading day. Forex doesn't shut down, but we'll see what the trading's like as we go further on to the day. Be aware of any kind of trend moving in past the afternoon, past the morning, really. Expect it just to kind of continue, and we'll see what happens here. Got some good trades coming up this week. Great trades coming up this week. All right. Anyways, so let's call it good for this morning on this holiday, and you guys have a great start of your trading week. Leave some powder dry for the rest of the week, both with your money and emotionally. And yeah, we'll visit with you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.